Folks, it's back. It's the Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time, and we have a lot to talk about to get back into the mood, if you will. We've got hot news this week, and the top story, and also DWHS with the returning David Hero. The Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time starts right now. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time. Damian Nelson's here alongside David Octavius Tiberius, the legend, backyard, one-time knockout, straight edge, hardcore, Hall of Famer hero.
Yes.
David, welcome back. A 6-month absence on television for you. It's been 6 months since you've been on TV, yes.
And you've missed me. Every one of you have. There's no doubt.
Matter of opinion.
It's the spoken word. It's the knowledge I preach. It's the gift of gab.
Well, where have you been? What have you been doing for the last 6 months? Why haven't you been on air?
I've been sequestered.
For what reason? For what purpose?
Well,
and more importantly,
I can tell you, I wouldn't be sequestered.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate your patience during our time away. But you know what? We realize it's WrestleMania season. And things don't get any better than that time of year, so why not bring you back to the heavenly Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time. And as you know, as you see here right now, we are on a different day, on a different night, and at a different time, coming to you before Monday Night Raw. And we'll be doing so each and every week here for Prime Time Monday nights. So is that working to your schedule? It used to be on Fridays and Saturdays.
It works great because what better way to start the week? There was some PWR.
It's like a kickoff kind of thing.
It is a kickoff, and it's like, Sundays are kind of lame, kind of gimpy. Mondays,
I'm sorry. Something wrong with your leg? Or your foot?
I said Sundays.
Or your feet?
No, my feet are fine.
Oh.
But Mondays, you got to get back to the, the grind, the nonsense, and what better way to kick off that, getting home from work and hit the play button, and there we are.
Well, folks, as we talked about on PWR tonight, which is another new episode broadcast that we have. Did you get a chance to check out my solo action this week?
I did. Your solo act is pretty awesome.
It's on point. I'm told. On point, that's what kids say nowadays.
Is it?
I know you're out of touch. You're a little older.
I am older.
The shithole bars you go to.
Gotta love a good shithole once in a while.
Folks, let's get right down to it. Let's get to this week's top story. And big news coming out of WWE, not yet confirmed by the company, but confirmation has been found, or at least we have gotten confirmation at this point of the news, that Paige, one of your dear, close, personal favorites, David Hero, Paige, apparently her in-ring career in WWE is over due to injury.
And they are saying it's much to the same injury that Edge had that retired him early.
Yeah, let's go back to that story. Remember, Edge participated in, I believe, WrestleMania 27, losing the championship to Alberto Del Rio, or winning it, perhaps. Retaining it. And the next night, I think it was, on Raw, he gave it up and announced his retirement because of the same type of neck injury. Now, for those of you who remember, Paige returned to WWE back in November, much to a lot of fanfare and much to the surprise of a lot of us as fans and viewers. And it was late December in a tag team matchup at a house show where she would re-injure or aggravate that injured neck.
She got kicked in the back of the head by Sasha Banks.
And could not get up afterwards and has not wrestled since. Now, Paige had previously admitted that she had not quite shared the extent of her injury with WWE, this prior to her returning this past November. But now, apparently, she was told recently by the company that due to this injury and due to what the doctor's recommendations are, that her in-ring career is over, which is heartbreaking, of course, for her, I'm sure, David Hero.
Oh, it's terrible. I always said if Paige could keep her nose clean and her head on straight,
you did say
she'd be one of the greatest divas of all time. And she was doing great until she got involved with Del Rio, and then that went off the tracks. And extremely talented, bright, beautiful, energetic, charismatic young woman, 25 years old, to have her career cut short. She's a legit star.
Yeah.
She is, and I'm sure WWE will be crazy to not keep her on board because she can help some of the other younger talents, I don't want to say mature, but understand some ring psychology, and she could be a good player coach.
This neck injury, and it's interesting when you look at a company like WWE, and we'll talk about another injury situation in a moment, that they don't mess around when it comes to this stuff, David Hero.
You know what? Think about it. Remember when Austin broke his neck with Owen Hart?
Yes.
Damn near broke what would happen if that would have happened today. If they would have cleared Austin to come back or not.
That's a great question.
Because that was a brutal break.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And when you start messing with spinal injuries, head injuries, things of that nature, we all know the stands of WWE as it pertains to concussions as well. You got to be careful, especially as a publicly traded company. You got to be careful. And Paige now may think she can go. We don't know where her head is in regards to all this, but she may think she can still go, whether she can or not. It appears as if her in-ring career with WWE is over. Now, David, do you think if she thinks she can go, that it makes sense for her to pursue other opportunities if she can?
What does she have left to prove?
Man, she hasn't really done much in WWE.
Her first night on the main roster, she wins the Divas title.
Yeah, but cumulatively, yes. How long was she there? A year?
3 years?
But really, in-ring action there, performing.
No, yeah, I get it. But I mean, what is she... If you follow her on social media this last week, you wouldn't know that she's been forced to retire. You know, she's living, she's having fun, she's shenanigating, she's building her own brands.
Shenanigating?
Yeah, that's what we're going to be doing in New Orleans in a few months.
Ah, Bourbon Street. Okay.
I like Paige. I think that she has the it factor that a lot of the girls don't have. She's going to be a big loss because when she came back, what a reaction she got. The fans love her.
Yes.
You know, she has that it. She has that quality that you want to be around her.
Mm-hmm. If you're WWE, what do you next do with Paige?
Oh, you keep her around. Absolutely. There's value in her.
Another situation has been, excuse me, I'm all choked up there. You're
tight or something?
We're back. What do you mean? You don't like the bow tie?
No, it's a good gimmick for you.
It's not a gimmick. It's a way of life. Bow ties are cool. Okay. You haven't heard?
No.
As I talked about on this is the PWR tonight earlier this week, Daniel Bryan has been obviously very vocal in his dissatisfaction with his inability to compete in a WWE ring. But I made a bold prediction, David Hero, and I want to get your opinion on it because I'm sure you didn't hear it because you didn't watch.
It's not true.
I
watch a lot of stuff.
I think that we are on a very fast pace to a return match for Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania against Shane McMahon in the Superdome, where he just so happened to have won the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 30, beating Triple H and Batista.
Okay.
I think it's going to happen. You've seen on SmackDown the last few weeks this dissension that's been growing and building between Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. If WWE is going to let Daniel Bryan do one more match or let him get back in the ring and compete more.
I think it's going to be a 6-man tag, if anything.
Is that enough?
It can protect Daniel Bryan from Daniel Bryan.
Interesting. Explain, please.
Because Daniel Bryan is going to want to go out there and do everything Daniel Bryan did before he got hurt. He's going to do all the crazy flips and jumps and dives and whatever else. And it's not conducive for a man that has seizures from his concussions. So slow him down a little bit. Put him in a 6-man tag. Let it be Daniel Bryan with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Against Shane McMahon and...
Orton and Nakamura?
No.
That's what he's pretty much been...
I can't see that. And just, go that route. Or, I wouldn't be surprised if Daniel Bryan doesn't wrestle at Mania, then he winds up going all in.
All in? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's something we'll talk about in Hot News later.
Sure.
Featuring our dear friend Cody Rhodes.
Of course, yes.
Not that he'll be here, but we'll talk about that in relation to him and whatnot. All right, so do you believe this to be the case, that Paige's in-ring is over?
Absolutely.
And do you believe it to be possible that Daniel Bryan will be involved physically at WrestleMania in a matchup?
I think there's a chance of it, yes. What else do you have for Shane McMahon to do? Not that Shane deserves to be at WrestleMania.
We all know you hate that.
I do. It's not believable.
It's been a while. Can you explain again? Why it's not believable
because
for
he
Shane
goes out
McMahon to
there
be a
and
part of
does
WrestleMania?
everything that nobody else is allowed to do.
Isn't that what's great about it, though?
No, because he's not a wrestler. He's an executive.
Shane McMahon's been wrestling for almost 20 years.
But he's not anymore.
Yeah, he's wrestled for the last several matches in the last 3 years.
Every match he's in is a gimmick match. It's a fight. He has yet to have a wrestling match. When was the last time he had a wrestling match?
I don't recall.
Exactly. He's not a wrestler. He's a fighter. Maybe he's the prize fighter.
What do you mean
not Kevin Owens? Kevin Owens wrestles. Not really a fighter.
Did you ever play Knockout for Nintendo?
I did. I was good at it. I knocked Mike Tyson's ass out all the time.
That's this week's top story, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a time out. When we come back, it's this week's
Are you saying I'm a fighter then?
hot
because I knocked out Mike Tyson?
I'm saying that you are. I'm not saying you're a fighter. Was it Mike Tyson's knockout?
It was Mike Tyson's.
Is that the name of the game?
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
You're more like Glass Joe.
WrestleMania weekend's biggest party is coming to Bourbon Street. Don't miss an all-inclusive, all-night party Friday, April 6th. Hosted by Kevin Nash and over 20 other wrestling stars. Enjoy unlimited drinks all night long at the Bourbon Cowboy on Bourbon Street. Throw beads from the balcony. Drink and party with your favorite wrestling stars. Hurry, limited quantities available. Purchase tickets now at PWRshow.com. That's PWRshow.com.
Collar and elbow bouts usually began as a contest of balance. The opening position or stance featured the hand and arm positioning which gave the wrestling style its name. Contestants faced one another, each placing one hand on his adversary's shoulder and gripping his adversary's forearm with his other hand. This establishes the opening box, prevents bull-like rushes or throat grabs, minimizes disadvantages in height or arm's reach, and prevents deft footwork. Here, the champion squares off with the challenger. Each holds the stance until his opponent forces or permits him to break.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report. Prime time here for Monday, January 15, 2018. It is the return, and it has been 6 months, yet one very distinct thing, David Hero, has not changed. And I'd like to think that I expected it to perhaps have done so, but I'm not surprised that it has not.
What's that?
What is so important that happens on this communications device that you carry with you that you can't spend
first of all,
a few minutes with it? Why are you throwing
Where's my other phone?
Where is your other phone?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. It was supposed to be shipped to the new studio. Says Damian Nelson signed for it. No one can find it.
I didn't sign for it.
So I had to bring a new device until then, just in case hot news breaks.
And has hot news broken?
It will.
Because that's the segment we're doing.
It always happens.
Folks, let's get right down to it with this week's hot news. Big news coming out of TNA Impact Wrestling this past week as they were conducting their tapings that'll take them up through, I believe, April down in Orlando, Florida. And one of the biggest news stories was what happened last week on the actual broadcast of TNA Impact Wrestling on Pop TV, and that was the return of Austin Aries to the company.
A-double.
What did we last see A-double at?
Blizzard Brawl.
Pay-per-view.
Blizzard Brawl.
And not only did he return to TNA Impact Wrestling, but he defeated Eli Drake to become the new TNA Impact Wrestling Global Champion.
Amazing.
Austin Aries is the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Here we go.
Imagine if Neville came to TNA then.
Where is Neville? What is Neville? What is going on?
He left.
Yeah, but he
got pissy about payday, I guess.
No one's confirmed that he's no longer contracted.
Well, where is he?
Exactly. That's the quote. We haven't seen him since those stories came out.
He's kind of like
perhaps he's ratting it out.
Jacques Cousteau or
Jacques Rougeau?
No, Jacques Cousteau. Not the diver. Who was the Pink Panther guy? Who was the inspector over there? Inspector Clouseau?
Just call him.
We need to call him. He's British. I'm sure he can track Neville down.
Can we call Leslie Nielsen instead? I mean, he found the real Undertaker.
He's dead. That might be a long
distance. So we'll be at the United Center on March 3rd when WWE comes back for the first time in 20 years?
No, I don't think
so. You gonna go to that show?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I hate Chicago.
Oh, it's because of the location of the United Center. Someone on the south side.
Okay, keep in mind, you were with me when I left my car in Chicago one time. Oh, it'll be fine. What happened? It got towed. Remember that.
When the curb is painted red, clearly you shouldn't be parked there, especially since there's a fire hydrant. You're lucky they didn't freaking put holes through your car and use it to get it.
The red is for a fire hydrant?
Yes.
I thought it was for the red carpet event we were going to. That's where we could park our cars. And I was at least 2 feet from the fire hydrant.
Austin Aries is the new champion.
A double.
In TNA Impact Wrestling. Your thoughts? Eli Drake, I thought was doing it.
You know what? Eli Drake, I think, is solid. I think they could have had Austin Aries chase him a little bit longer than an hour and 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, it wasn't even that. I mean, he came back and surprised because Drake had the open challenge and then boom, gone. Yeah. They're having a rematch, I believe, this week on Impact.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, but that's what TNA does. The guy that's fresh off WWE TV, bring him in, put the belt on him. They did it with Rhino, they did it with Raven, they did it with Christian, they did it with Kurt Angle.
Well, let's talk about what has happened in the last few months with TNA Impact Wrestling since we have not been on air. And that is that Jeff Jarrett is gone. Anthem is still in charge.
Yes.
But now Don Callis and Scott D'Amore are essentially in charge of the creative for TNA Impact Wrestling. They're basically running the wrestling aspect of the company.
Team Canada of Truth Commission is in charge.
Talented individuals, though. Extremely talented. And yes, indeed, their first big executive level decision as far as the on-air wrestling product was to have their champion, TNA guy, Eli Drake, lose to what a lot of fans out there have said, a WWE guy.
No, he's not. Austin
That's a lot of fans are saying.
Guy first.
Yeah, absolutely. But they forget that.
I didn't.
And that some are questioning that logic. But here's the thing. They and we right now are talking about TNA Impact Wrestling.
Yes. And we'll talk about it also when more stuff comes out of those tapings.
More stuff has come out of those tapings. And since it's fairly public at this point, we're going to talk about them here in Hot News.
I can't wait.
Austin Aries, good move, bad move for TNA Impact Wrestling.
Super solid move. Austin Aries is a great talent. And he's a great fit for TNA Impact Wrestling. Mm-hmm. He's a good champion for them. People know who Austin Aries is.
They sure do. Another man they know who it is, David Hero, in TNA Impact Wrestling, is EC3, Ethan Carter III.
He's a super friend, you know? He's a pal.
He is indeed a super friend, and does he have one of those?
He does. He's got a shirt. Much like Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. I know that
they don't have a super friend shirt.
Oh, brother, I usually don't follow them on social media. They gave lots of love.
You're telling me Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax have one of these hideous shirts?
Yes, they do.
And why?
Just look at Nia's Twitter account. I mean, I'm sure you can throw it up here on the screen if you want me to.
You know what?
And Alexa Bliss's Instagram.
How do you market these shirts? Like, do you donate them to Goodwill, don't you?
No, I don't.
And then people go and buy them for like their laundry day and their workout shirts and.
Everybody wants to be a part of the largest collection of amazing people on the planet.
The recognized symbol of excellence, the Nelson family.
I haven't seen a green baby bib in a long time. When was the last time I saw a Nelson family shirt?
I don't know. I'm not in your eyes, in your head.
It's been a long time. But you know what? You don't gotta hate. It's fine. I understand.
Ethan Carter, apparently gone from TNA Impact Wrestling. In fact, if you've seen what they have recorded for the upcoming shows, now these are somewhat of spoilers, but they've been spoiling their own stuff, so
just follow them on Twitter and on the website.
Yeah, exactly.
They have to. No one's watching on Pop.
They pulled a good audience, actually, last week of some 300,000 people tuned into the program. Hey, the question about that, David Hero. Now, you mentioned Austin Aries and Blizzard Brawl, House of Hardcore, Tommy Dreamer, and you, Blizzard Brawl, last December, here in the Milwaukee area, and that pay-per-view was broadcast live on Twitch.
You called it, as a matter of fact.
I did have the opportunity to call the action, which was awesomely amazing.
Over 500,000 people watched it, from what I understand.
And that's what I hear. The number, I think, was 461,000 people watched
you round up.
House of Hardcore on Twitch on pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. But 300,000 people a week are tuning in.
Yeah. So what you're saying is more people saw me chokeslam the Spirit Squad as opposed to Austin Aries becoming a new world champion.
We haven't shared the big news about the Spirit Squad. That was a monumental night at Blizzard Brawl because ladies and gentlemen, there is an honorary 4th member of the Spirit Squad.
You're the token member of the Spirit
Joining,
Squad.
what, you think it's okay to say something like that on television in front of everybody?
You're not the token?
What would make me a token? Is this Chuck E. Cheese? Is this some type of Dave and Buster's or something? I'm not a token. I am joining Kenny, Mikey, Randy, and Damien. Damien. I'm the 4th member. I'm honorary member of the Spirit Squad. They all cleared it.
Okay.
So you're jealous. That's
no.
Yeah, you're completely jealous. You might be giving away shirts to divas, but I'm the 4th member of the Spirit Squad. Should wear green this week.
I think you should.
I said I should.
Yeah, you should have.
EC3. Where's he going to go?
Oh, there's no doubt. He's going to wind up in NXT or the Rumble.
He is an amazing talent, ladies and gentlemen. Ethan Carter
He
III.
looks like a star.
He does look like a star. He acts like a star.
He can talk and he can go.
Mm-hmm. And he let's not forget, he was in WWE.
He was in NXT, yeah.
Back in the... he was there when the invasion kind of thing happened.
Something Bateman.
He was, not Jason.
No.
Ethan Carter III, done with TNA.
And he can beat EC3 when he goes there because he owns his now intellectual property.
Oh, he got EC3?
Yes, he does.
Dixie gave it to him?
TNA is letting every one of their talents use their name. And now he even trademarked EC3.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I wonder if WWE, if they wanted to, could they buy the music from TNA, do you think? $20, $40?
Yeah, easily. Why not? Trouble.
Here's the thing. Okay, so Matt Hardy has woken.
Yeah, he has.
In WWE.
Thank God.
And I, for one...
It doesn't have the same feel to me, does it?
Well, I don't know how it felt before because I didn't watch Impact Wrestling on a regular basis.
Oh.
I watched the shows that they did, the deleted episodes, but I didn't really watch it on a regular basis. But here's the question. A lot of people have said TNA is small apples compared to WWE. And we even just talked about the numbers of people who tune in. Yet, the WWE Universe is seemingly...
considered a small apple?
Well, Raw has 2.7 million people watch this past Monday night. SmackDown 2.6 million.
No, but we're comparing apples. I've never seen small apples before.
Well, there's like the Granny Smith, and then there's...
Okay, but they're usually all the same size, aren't they?
No. Apples are many different sizes. Have you ever cupped them?
I've held them in my hands a few times. I've taken a bite out of a few apples.
Did you find a worm?
God, no. That's disgusting.
If TNA's audience is that relatively small and I guess less important than that of WWE, then how do so many fans in the WWE universe, how are they embracing the delete, and the broken, woken character of Matt Hardy? Because it's over, as you would say, like Grover.
Because Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy have over 1 million some followers each on their social media, and when they were in TNA, they promoted that broken brand.
So were they bigger than the company at that point?
Oh my God, yeah.
So what RVD said was true. We had a rock star. It doesn't matter. People recognize him.
People know who Matt and Jeff Hardy are. Absolutely.
You're right.
I know.
Chris Adonis,
Chris
Masters, also announced his departure from Impact Wrestling as well. And there are rumors, David Hero, and they're not substantiated at this point by anything we know, but our TNA is apparently trying to get Rey Mysterio on board to maybe appear with them as well.
They probably will, because they have Del Rio. And why not put another guy in TV that no one's going to see?
Speaking of television, ladies and gentlemen,
let's be honest about TNA, okay? Seriously.
This is our first show back in 6 months, and the glasses are off.
Listen, I enjoy those guys. A lot of them are my friends, and I want them all to do well. But when you have 3/4 of your roster are guys, I have no clue who they are. Okay?
Is that bad of a thing?
It's terrible.
Well, okay, they're building their own talents. They're
fine, but nobody knows who they are. You have not introduced any of them. There's no backstory on them. So then you get 10 guys that you're giving $75 a piece to. Okay? And now you're going to bring another guy that's going to want, let's say, $5,000 a week. Or $5,000 a show.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you going to put the focus on? The guy getting the $5,000. The other ones that are getting $75 are going to fall short. Rey Mysterio's not going to. Rey Mysterio's not going to put over a guy that's he's beneath him. So you bring in Rey Mysterio and you better make him your world champion. put him in a program with Austin Aries.
Well, I mean, obviously. They would
Right,
have to,
but Ray's not going there to put over, I can't even name anyone.
Do you think Ray's going there at all, most importantly?
If he is, he's using it as leverage to go back to WWE for one more run.
He doesn't need that.
Everybody wants one more run.
I'm saying he doesn't
Ray
need
shows up at the Rumble in Philadelphia, huge.
Who's that jumping out the sky?
It would be the REY.
Folks, as we talked about earlier, a big show announced coming to us from the collaborative effort of Cody Rhodes, the endorsed Cody Rhodes, and the Young Bucks. Many of you have heard they've been talking about this 10,000-seat arena show that they would like to put on, with no affiliation with Ring of Honor or any other wrestling company, by the way, and show that talent can indeed sell out a venue. And they have apparently secured that venue and have secured the name and the date. The name will be All In. The date will be September 1st, 2018. The location will be announced soon by those three gentlemen. David Hero, an ambitious goal.
Well, and let's not forget they have Stephen Amell involved also.
The gentleman from Arrow.
Yes. You know, and Kenny Omega's going to be involved. But here's the thing. What are they trying to prove?
I think they're trying to prove their power, their star power, I think it goes back to the point that was made earlier about there's this notion of mainstream wrestling and then internet wrestling. Mm-hmm. And I think that they are trying to prove to a degree that they are as popular as some of the mainstream wrestling.
Here's the problem. You're going to be in Chicago. Okay.
It's rumored to possibly be Chicago.
It makes the most sense to be in Chicago.
Sears Center sounds about right.
Okay. How are all these internet fans going to get there?
Jim Cornette talked about this on his podcast. Wait a minute. You know what?
What's that?
I forgot to make the major announcement.
What's that?
You know that we've got a new co-host joining us this Friday for Feedback Friday. It's going to be a 3-man booth.
Okay.
We've got a third man. Mm-hmm. And I hadn't announced who it was yet. I forgot. Linda didn't remind me here.
Okay. Well,
are you ready?
Yeah, because no one told me about the 3-man booth. There's not enough room here for all of us.
Joining us on Feedback Friday, ladies and gentlemen, starting this Friday right here on the channels of PWR, our third man in, James E. Cornette. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, so you guys can bash Trump the entire time we're on the air.
No, it's not about politics. It's about wrestling. It's feedback.
Nobody cares about what you think about Donald Trump anymore.
I haven't mentioned him by name ever. Have I said his name on this show?
Several times.
I don't think I did. No. I have a pet name for him that I can't use in this forum that I'm not going to share.
Well, that's cool that Corny's... I haven't seen Corny since...
Well, you're going to see him every Friday on Feedback Friday.
Fantastic. That's exciting. That's hot news. But
that is a segment.
Let's talk about All In.
That's what we're talking about. Jim Cornette mentioned it on his podcast last week that there's several ways to get there, right? A lot of promoters can draw 10,000 people to a building or an event.
No, they can't.
But do you want to make money on it too? Is the question. Meaning, if you could do a free show in Milwaukee, David Hero, and had all kinds of names and talents on it, and you weren't necessarily worried about the profitability of it, could you draw 10,000? Could you fill the Mecca area?
Sure, I don't care about making my money back. But here's the thing: I've done Blizzard Brawl for 12 years. Mm-hmm. We've never done more than 2,500 people.
Well, that's the capacity of the venue.
What I'm saying is I don't have 5,000 people outside waiting to get in. And we've had big names. We've had Hall and Nash versus Road Dogg and Billy. Mm-hmm. I had Demolition Team with Road Warrior Animal for the first time. I've had Piper's Pits. I've had China. You've named it. We've done some really cool stuff there. So, in Cody and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, they're all top guys. They're superstars. They're main event draws. But there's a different type of main event to fill a 10,000-seat building.
See if they can get there. I do appreciate their ambition. Yes.
We were in Chicago, TNA Impact Wrestling.
Yes.
For Glory.
Huh?
They didn't have 10,000.
They didn't, but at the time, I think it was the largest audience of around 6,000 ever.
And they had Sting.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't Hogan there as well?
Well, but here's what I think you're underestimating. All that you just talked about was a traditional view at promoting wrestling. And there's nothing wrong with that traditional view. It works. I believe they are taking this in a revolutionary new direction, whereas they are harnessing the energy that has been created, the buzz that has been created by this event, and hoping that it will equate to quote-unquote 10,000 people and whatever this thing is.
They're going to want to put it on pay-per-view, right?
Mm-hmm. Maybe they don't. I heard they are planning to.
They have to. Because a lot of kids can't get out of their parents' basements.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. It's going to be interesting.
All right, folks. Well, that is best of luck to them. By the way, I think it's going to be interesting.
They're going to get a lot of buzz.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they're going to be able to pull off matches that other promotions can't do.
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan in Chicago.
That's been talked about. If they get Punk, they're going to go 20,000 video probably.
No, Punk's not
15?
Punk's 10,000.
12,5?
No.
Here we go. In case you don't remember, he hates CM Punk.
I don't hate. I don't
You
hate
don't appreciate.
I don't hate anybody. Hate's a 4-letter word.
Shithole?
That's more than 4 letters.
Birthday. Tonight? I need
WrestleMania weekend's biggest party is coming to Bourbon Street. Don't miss an all-inclusive, all-night party Friday, April 6th. Hosted by Kevin Nash and over 20 other wrestling stars. Enjoy unlimited drinks all night long at the Bourbon Cowboy on Bourbon Street. Throw beads from the balcony. Drink and party with your favorite wrestling stars. Hurry, limited quantities available. Purchase tickets now at PWRshow.com. That's PWRshow.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report PrimeTime. David Hero!
Yes.
It feels good, doesn't it? You're back under the bright lights. The lights are on bright, Michael. As JBL used to always say.
Michael
Cole.
Cole.
Michael? He said, carry the eye.
Where is JBL?
He's going to be at Raw 25 next
He
Monday
is.
night.
He is. Boy, you know, and there's been some other hot stuff that's been rumored about.
Yeah?
I can't wait to be there for that.
We are going to be in New York live for Raw 25.
Manhattan Center.
We're going to be bringing you a special edition of PWR tonight. So we talk about PrimeTime moving to Monday. Well, next Monday night, folks, we're going to be live from New York. PrimeTime to PWR tonight. This guy and myself will be bringing you a special update from New York. And have I said New York enough?
We need
for Raw 25. 2 venues, one night.
We need to use that Snapchat gimmick and do
that thing that you do?
No, just people can follow along on Snapchat and watch our nonsense from the airport all the way there. You're a treat to travel with.
Raw 25, PWR will be live and in charge from that event next Monday night. It's going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to being at that show. And with that, it is now time to resurrect a horse that is probably already still dead. Already still dead? Still dead. DWHS, David Hero.
DWHS is spoken word. David Hero has spoken. It's very simple. It's an easy topic for me this week. Brock Lesnar, the Beast incarnate. Braun Strowman, the monster of men among men. And the Big Red Machine Kane are set and ready to go for the Royal Rumble. I call that main event 305 Live.
You have.
Because all three guys are at least 300 pounds or more. And it's going to be a battle, and you got to believe that Braun Strowman is the favorite. He's been dominating. He pulls down the set on top of Kane and Brock. But let's be honest, the main event is Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
He is the draw for New Orleans. Wouldn't you agree?
The man who ended the Undertaker streak?
Yes.
And ended the lives of many people's wrestling dreams forever?
Everyone's talking about Roman Reigns winning the Rumble, going on to fight Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And it makes sense when you have Roman Reigns beat John Cena clean. He's been holding on to the IC title for a little while. Going into the Rumble, let's admit it, he's the favorite. Only one reason why he's the favorite, Braun Strowman's not in it. Otherwise, Braun Strowman is the favorite. So now you have Roman Reigns with a head of steam, beating John Cena clean, and now you're going to have Brock Lesnar, who has defeated Samoa Joe. He has defeated, in a four-way at SummerSlam, Joe, Strowman, and Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
He beat Strowman in a one-on-one match. And now he's going to beat Kane and Strowman again at the Rumble. Is there anybody that has more steam behind him, quiet steam, than Brock Lesnar?
No.
Brock Lesnar, all that steam behind him. Roman Reigns, all that steam behind him. Main eventing, New Orleans, WrestleMania.
The 34th installment.
The 34th installment. Now, a lot of us don't want to see it, but what other match is there that deserves top billing with two larger-than-life characters, two larger-than-life personalities, two guys that could walk into any crowded bar and the bar will split like the Red Sea? And with that, David Hero has spoken.
DWHS folks, want to remind all of you that we are back here again Friday. Feedback Friday returns. You know what happens on Feedback Friday? We take your comments, your questions, your concerns, and we address them. And we are so pleased and delighted to have a new third man in.
I'm sorry, it was on the vibrate. I know it was ringing.
Jim Cornette joining us.
We're good? For sure.
As the co-host with the host of Feedback Friday. Now that's available on all of our channels. YouTube. We are broadcasting here to a nationwide, worldwide audience, and you are on your phone. What could be so important? What could be so important that you won't interrupt me and my both of
No, Cal took care of that already. Don't worry about it.
I guess
all right. All right, thanks, Kevin.
Right.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, what? Who are you talking
about? You going to disagree with this?
Yes, I do disagree. But you being on the phone while we're doing the show.
But this is business, and it's good business. We canceled Cornette off on Friday.
No, you didn't.
We did.
He's contracted.
No, he's no.
I give him an advance.
It's fine. Kenny Bolin's taking the spot on Friday.
What?
Yeah.
Who?
Kenny Bolin. Beats by Bolin.
The guy that was on the show here a couple years ago. And
yeah, he called you an ungrateful bastard. Yes. You were rude. He's on fire right now. Have you heard his podcast lately? He's been killing it.
I was not rude, and I am the producer. I am in charge here, and I think these
decisions about you. Politics into the show.
Can you start 69 that?
That's a different app.
No, Jim Cornette was gonna be. He's my guy. He's gonna be here with us on the stream with the.
He took his leave. He can keep the money. Bolin's funny. He's entertaining. He's not gonna talk about politics. Doesn't care about that.
He did call me an ungrateful bastard.
I don't trust you and Corny. That's the problem. You're going to want to save Haiti, and you're going to want to talk about, all these other banks and pizza gates and everything else. And
we just got in the black. Just before Christmas, we got back in the black. PWR was out of money because of you and Linda's little hedonism trip back in July.
It was a counseling session.
You spent $29,000 of my money to go get screwed.
It was like 26 or 27.
And now we finally swung a profit and got back to profitability. I used some of that money to advance our new talent that was joining us on Feedback Friday, as far as I knew. And now you've blown that too.
Pump the brakes. You got your own little gimmick you show here, the Damian Nelson experience. Why don't you and Corny do that together?
Folks, this has been PrimeTime.
It has been.
He has gone long. On Friday, we will have a third man joining us here to answer your questions, your comments, and your concerns on Feedback Friday. Want to remind all of you to subscribe to us here on YouTube and to be sure to check us out when PWR Tonight returns tomorrow night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night, and then PWR Feedback Friday with somebody, maybe Kitty Starmaker Bowman, on Friday. So it's a whole week long, I don't even talk to you anymore, whole week full of programming from the Pro Wrestling Report.
Is it because he's from Kentucky you don't like him?
Jim Cornette, who's also from Kentucky. This has been the Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time for Linda Kay. This is Damian Nelson saying thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow when I'm alone without this guy for PWR Tonight.
This guy's Dave here.